into it. The poets have told me the order in which they wish to perform, and so I have the pleasure of introducing you to the first poet of the evening. That will be Dorian S. Ham. So a couple of brief words about Dorian before we call him up. So Dorian, at least publicly, came to poetry a little later than a lot of poets, right? Like, he's been doing poetry actively on the scene for maybe like 3 years now, maybe 4. And he just started coming out to open mic, and then it would just get up, and it would be like, okay, I see you, dog. And then those poems would get better and better, and he was like really committed to posting poems online every week. And I was just like, okay, this cat might be the real deal. And it turns out he is. And so he's been a Rhapsody and Refrain fixture now for, is this your 3rd year?
My third
year, yeah. And so please welcome to the stage a great person and a great poet, Dorian S. Ham, everyone.
So when Scott asked me to do my first feature ever was here at Rhapsody Refrain. And when Scott asked me, I was maybe 6 or 7 months into consistently writing poetry. And I'm like, that is deeply insane. To the point where when he asked me, I'm like, I just want to make sure, Scott, that you're talking to Dorian. And he's like, yes, I'm fully aware who I'm talking to. And I'm like, okay, not my reputation on the line. Didn't have one. And last year it was more like all right, is he still fine? All right. Now I'm just like, oh no, maybe I do have a reputation. What is it? Don't know, won't bother to ask. You're here, it's already taken care of at that point. All right, let's start with a poem. Yeah. Trying to choose between a poem and a poem, I figured I'd pick a poem. Okay, but not for me. The phone is silent as the moon during sunrise. The watch pot that never boils. Ghosts whirring in perfect counterclockwise. Hearing the songs of silence turned up to 11. The story is old but new every time. Dull but sharp pain every time. Same old implosion every time. Did you get through all the messages I almost sent to you? While I'm finding new distractions to unbreak my heart. But a crash out still resets, back to 1. Finding new ways to pretend. Lying about everything and nothing at all, where the only truth are the things unsaid. This failed trip to the sun, still degrees of burns under the surface. These shadows are a bomb, this night sky an illumination. Turn away, turn away. I chase hunger out of a room you've never been in. I answer letters you've never written. I reminisce about times we've never spent. I fluff a pillow you'll never use. I imagine conversations we've never had. I think about a present that can never be. All these asterisks and blank spaces do a lot of heavy lifting, where words are a bit too real and instruction can come in an instant, but so can creation and silence. And you look at me as if you don't know the taste of my silence, the sound of my voice after midnight, the trace of my brow, the taste of my laugh, the weight of my hand in yours, your reflection in my eyes. Living in a mystery with a solution that leads to more questions than answers until it doesn't. Actually, here's the resolution. Wait, it goes on. If you could choose yesterday, I wonder which sliding door you'd take, which version you'd burn like magnesium ribbon, which memory would be the star to orbit around, which yes would mean yes, what future do you imagine? Keep my name on your tongue in rooms I'm not in. Keep my name on the edge of your fingertips. Keep my name in your mind so that these memories are ours. Thank you. So the thing that I'm not great at, and I'm only slightly better, but still not good at, is picking what poems in which sort of order. So when Paula's like, I'm putting on my set list, I'm like, what must that be like? Organized. Or with my homie Bowie Gims, who picks the exact amount of poems and knows in a sequence. I'm just like I read poetry like I DJ. I put everything into a container and just hope it works out. Like roughly know the beginning, know how it's going to end. The middle, well, we'll see what's happening there. I'm saying that while I vamped for time. I should have been flipping and vamping, but still just vamp. Okay, so when I'm sort of roughly thinking about what I'm picking out, what's horrifying is that I'm like, oh no, I've written that same poem so many times. That's what it is. But I'm like, okay, I use my still effective PEC system, which is a political, emo, and comedy. The comedy's been kind of light. The political's been a bit too much. But emo, stand strong. So I say that to say this, so let's get a political one. So part of the reason why I write at least one poem every week. I've been doing it every Wednesday since 2023. No weeks off. And really because I'm just sort of I'm like, I can play around, I can try dumb stuff, I can write a bad poem, doesn't matter, go to me come, or not. And so a lot of it's trying to play with forms and things, trying to figure out, and so I found what the form was and then I lost it, so I just have to say that this is a poem comprised of a bunch of haikus. It has an actual name. I looked at it and found it, lost it, and Google's like, sorry about your luck. So it's not just a way to get a bunch of haikus in at an open mic. I'm just like, no, it's one poem. It's a number. All right, it was called Flat White. Stand for nothing, won't protect you anytime. Wolves always eat. Mirrors must be flipped, twice to be true reflection. Unfamiliar. Accusation now, thousands of loaded needles, the pages are blank. Not supplication at the hem of an image, the suit is empty. Walls are constructed as protection, not today, but as a stockade. They'll say leap and jump, the height isn't a finish, for them, just a game. May a conscience burn as like swirling firestorms on the driest land. And continuing with the foreign poems, so again, because I know I have to write at least one poem a week, sometimes I'm like, man, I've done some living, here's my idea. Other times I'm like, I've done no living, I have no ideas. And so I just did the Google, again, my biggest op, but it's like poetry prompt. And it was like, Sistina. I'm like, okay, what is that? And it's like, so it's a French term with a very specific, so number of stanzas, strict number of stanzas. At the first stanza, every line of 6 will go into a specific pattern throughout the poetry. So every end line will form in different sort of places, a super specific pattern. So specific, I didn't understand it. And I just sort of sat and looked at the key and looked at their examples, and I didn't get it. So I kept trying to read, and I'm like, I just didn't get it. And I was like, oh, then it made sense. But the prompt was, write a Sistina about a song that you hate. And I was like, got it. That part came immediately. Was no hesitation, didn't have to debate it. And so it was a Drake Tootsie Slide. Yes. The song came out during lockdown, where I listened to a bunch of like BBC radio, British radio. And so I hate the song so much that when it would play, I would just turn the radio off and sit in silence till it was done. Because I hated the song so much. Because he was like, yeah, I'm gonna make a song for TikTok, and do this thing. And it was like, because between that, versions of Machine Gun Kelly as a pop rock artist, it was rough. Sure, Coda was tough, but man, Tootsie Slide. And so that was the inspiration. There are a couple lines from the song in it, so get right to it. It's called Slide Left, Right, Up. Don't you want to dance with me? Imagine that all this Imagine that this is all the communication for tonight's words are meaningless, especially sentences. It's too loud for anything not telepathic. Our new language is translated with every slide. Petals off a rose, like I love, maybe not to scale, slide. As a defense mechanism to protect me from me, when I'm hoping the rhythm makes us telepathic, desperate for any scrap of communication, hoping that the fingers on your back form complete sentences, hoping that this moment isn't meaningless. If this was every day, it might be meaningless. Unsure if that's a problem, so we'll let the thoughts slide. Instead, I feel my heart beat out in Morse code sentences while I wait for you to respond back to me, putting a lot of weight on unspoken communication. At some point, we realize we're not telepathic. Or next time the truth will be revealed, telepathic, and all this panic will be meaningless. All this worry will stop choking communication, and I'll let all these imagined slights slide, because maybe my biggest op is me. I'm my own judge hanging out harsh sentences. These thoughts are fragmented cursive sentences, indemnus for not being telepathic. With all the things we could have wished for, my empathy failed me. At another time, this will be meaningless, yet this time the right door will slide. Our false belief that the dark makes us telepathic. Desperate translation of micro-expressions into communication. These dance steps, Rosetta Stone translating the sentences. Every moment like a cliff bracing for the slide. Arrogant to assume you're telepathic, but hoping my gestures weren't meaningless. Begrudging the time you spent with me. Through this moment we'll slide, bad, but good at communication. Living in the moment you'll spend with me. Writing novels from 2 sentences. Thankful we're not telepathic because pain in your arms is meaningless. Thank you. It was hard, but I did it. And so I've been thinking a lot about my family because I live geographically pretty far from most of my family. And so I don't get to see them a lot. I only get to see my mom's side of the family like once a year, like around Christmas. I pretty much don't see my family at all. No beef. We all love each other. We don't get to see them. But like hit me that the other day, like so a lot of times like in your family, you're still whatever your brain, like you're still your little kid in your family. And the other day I was like, oh no, wait, I'm an uncle. Like I'm with my uncles, I still don't have all my uncles, but I'm with my uncles when I was, oh no, am I a grown-up adult person? Oh dear. Since when? Since why? I gotta be better at this. And so I'm gonna do probably 2 or 3 about like different sort of things I think about my family and sort of how like sort of pop up in my memory. Doppler effect. The man at the takeout counter said my name the same way my grandmother did. The O pulled out like dough until it sounds like a U. The EN smashed into an UN. Letters softly flipped and kneaded. Not quite the name, but undeniably the name. My grandmother didn't have an accent to my ears, yet my name echoed with the pull of a small town. The small town we claimed was so small, even neighbors in small towns didn't know it. I touched her home from her for her Midwest grandchild. I sent history for her East Coast grandson. At various points, she used to wonder did my grandmother know my name. Sometimes when she wrote it, the letters soft as her speech. Reading it and hearing it like she said it, I always knew she was talking to me. As my consonant leads to crispness, my words glide together like pocket doors in a worn track. I hear the roots, I hear my grandmother. Yeah. And that is a true thing. Sometimes when I was like little, I was like, does my grandmother? No, she just took it together. And this, so also about family. The first line explains it. Name doesn't travel. I wonder if my grandparents didn't know me, would we be friends? As in a neighbor on the block that they wave to in the comings and goings, take time to wave over, checking on the ins and out rhythm of everyday life, sharing small jokes of voices of concern. Because didn't you hear? Oh, and if you're free, stop by because we're putting something on the grill. You probably like some company. See, you've been working hard. Want to hear about that thing? But I don't want to take up too much of your time. But there's no bother at all. We got to look out for each other. Would I be a part of their memories a thread in their tapestry, or just a forgotten anecdote of a background player. All right, so this last little chunk of my family set. My recent bit of like organization, I'm like, what if I put like poems together so easy to find? It's easy for the meme. This one's called Belmont and Lyndhurst, Chasing Satellites. Belmont is a street my dad's parents lived on in Toledo when I was very little. Like they moved when I was about like 8 or 9 to the street. And Lyndhurst is where my mom's mom lived. So Toledo, Ohio, Baltimore, Maryland. So you're trying to place my accent? You cannot. Belmont and Lyndhurst, Chasing Satellites. I wear my family name like drag, draped in a fabric of DNA, worn like a sash or a toga in an ancient senate, my history folded into nooks and crannies. I can't predict how it will present, but forever present. The ghosts that haunt my DNA, like the weather during tornado season, looms over the plains. I listen for the echoes, a one-way conversation, looking to see if reverberation or reflection is the answer to the future. I speak with my grandmother's tongue. I sit with my grandma's silence. I move quietly like my grandfather. I hum like my grandpa the songs that are never sung. I wear my family name like drag, one name I know so much that's like legend. And even though I've never been tested, if I fell, the name would catch me. The other is a mystery of where the trail goes, and I don't know where I can speak it. But I feel both names in my feet as I walk, and in my back as I move through the world, as a fine mist that's not quite rain, but I still feel it on my skin. I'm a link in a chain longer than I have numbers. I'm someone's future memory. I am someone's future question. I am all things and nothing, every new and old thing, things that have been forgotten, all Midwest, all East Coast, all down South, all places where I don't know the tongue. I wear my family name like a shield, a flag, a beacon, a blanket, an eternal flame, holding it like the number pi, seemingly infinite. I carry my family. And sometimes family stuff can be emo. All right, so because I, like I said, write every week, but I really look back at it unless I have to read something, so it just sort of, just sort of exist. And when I go back, I'm just like, oh, wow, I used that same opening line again. But in this case, I found that I had named various different poems the exact same title. Here's why. I listened to different, just sort of like random sort of jazz, like playlists, like instrumental jazz. And a lot of times, like if I don't sort of have a title, I sort of scroll through. I'm like, that title seems like it fits this sort of poem. And at least apparently 3 different times. That was the thing. And so I decided that, okay, now I'm going to officially make it a thing. And I am cribbing from, he may not be still doing it, but at one point, like Hanif had a series of poems. I believe he had like same title, same sort of opening lines. I'm like, well, if Hanif can do it. Oh, the arrogance of youth. And so, 3 poems, all the same title. I see your face before me. The act of remembering feels bigger than 143, like mile markers on emotional landscapes, a path where the trail is walked in, an unconscious permanence, where I remember the day after, what your favorite coffee is and how you like it. I remember months from now, how you make your favorite cup of coffee. I remember in the fallen years, I'm standing in the store when I see the can on the shelf, you and your coffee. The details that feel worth holding on to because words are declarations, remembering is the action. Love can be faked, remembering cannot. Thinking of you in your absence, whether it's convenient or not. I find you in the bookstore, on the radio, in the coffee aisle, in hundreds of small choices I make. These things will last for longer than the words that will trail off and slowly fade. I see your face before me. This broken radio broadcast fragmented ghost, and you fill in the gaps in static, offering half-remembered phrases and new lyrics, patching the connections, building the missed pieces, making these specters corporal, but that comes from the asterisks. Fear is the wrong word, the thing that will break the spell, this soap bubble floating in a sky of pins, hoping that each breeze delays the inevitable. The inevitable is a slow exhalation, waiting for the air to run out, the film to reach the end of the reel, the flickering light to burn out, yet even or especially in the dark. These lyrics are prayers, offering to the great unknown, wishing that time would give us time. I see your face before me. Skies, then trees, then birds, then nothing. Looking for the depth in the shadow, turning up the contrast, brushing away the noise, draining away the color, leading at precarious angles, turning the temperature down until it changes the time, which is a matter of opinion or a question of belief. This philosophy is a warning, danger in every whisper, every rotation closer than, farther than nothing. The light never sees the shadow, the sun rarely tastes midnight. Say these new bedtime stories in a confident tone, these false starts are part of the moment, a lullaby in small hours, a rising of the window, a slow Morse code, falling into the pattern, expanding with a frustrating sigh, hammers vibrating in a minor key, prayer said in a new language, trying to draw concussions on ice with payment. Nothing burns like the air between silences, the blink, 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 skies, then trees, then birds, then nothing. Yeah. So a thing that comes up a lot, at some point I'm just like, is this a stylistic choice? Is this a crush, or is this like a sad gimmick? Ghosts pop up a lot in the things I'm writing. And not even like actually about ghosts, but like, maybe a literal ghost, maybe a metaphor of ghost. But a lot of times it's like, wow, this is me using the word ghost again. Hey, Sathoris, is there a better word for ghost? And it's like, kinda. Just say ghost. But what if just say ghost? Okay. So, again, you read about whatever, I'm like, man, I am my own cliche. So this goes into the comedy wheel of things. I have to air quote because I'm not particularly funny. All right, closing time. People don't fear ghosts because they're ghosts. They fear that there's no end. Nothing but continuous, never-ending, and the answer is that you can't stop. Ghosts are a confirmation confirmation that when your shift is done, surprise, you're working a double. You could be in heaven sitting down, but instead you're floating around in an ill-fitting outfit that you wouldn't be caught until you were. A spectral Charlie Brown stuck in the same four panels. At best, teaching a life lesson. At worst, an endless to-do list of unfinished business. People fear the fact that at the end of the road is just more road. And that road is a Hot Wheels track, looping forever. So the screams aren't of terror, but of sympathy. Because my God, how long do you have to do this? All right. Since the comedy is like it's light, I'll read the other funny one. Chortle chuckle. True alpha behavior. I don't trust people who say things like, food is fuel. I only eat for fuel. If I can not eat it all, I would. It's just fuel. My guess is that your life is snoring, boring, a pale shade of tan, bland as your food, a conversation from A plus Z, nothing in between, when B through Y is where the living is. So what I want to hear is that this life is not for the slow graze, the soft meandering, the quiet rhythm of possibilities, The assembling of memories, then together of connections, smiles, laughter, reflections, joy. No, you're there, that life is speedrunning to the next thing, that always wanting more, but more is a moving target, and satisfaction is a rejected concept, with empty smiles, dead eyes. I don't know who you're trying to convince, me or yourself. Okay, a small category, but so I have a bunch of sisters. I'm the eldest in my family, and so a lot of my default is just big brother mode. Everyone be fine, be cool, thing. When things mess up, I'm just like, yo, that's messed up. You don't have to take that, that's messed up. They're gonna tell you it's okay, I ain't gonna tell you that. So I wrote this because of the situation. I was like, man, that's messed up. You would think it'd be more articulate, but here we are. They call it love. She said she didn't want to be a burden, that she felt like a burden. To her friends, she was a burden. Spending time with her was a burden. Listening to her was a burden. Being friends with her was a burden, and she didn't want that. But they assured her in darkened nightclubs, across tables and coffee houses, on uneven cracked sidewalks, in cars with interiors illuminated by street lights. Being with her was not a strain or a pain, but she didn't agree with them until she found a man that agreed with her, that she was everything she thought she was. She was lucky to find someone who would be with her despite her, and she was happy to find someone who understood, pushed the world away until there was nothing else, while everyone else saw the red flags flying like a claim on conquered land. She turned a blind eye and called it love. I said, the world is lousy with people. You can just not. All right. Headed with a couple of political. Let's see. Hit it with some more poems and then wrap up with the end. The end will be emo. I can guarantee you that. Yes. I can tell you that. All right. Blue screen. Empire will burn itself to white ash, run the tires bald, drain the rivers dry, just to solve a problem it created, just to find more reasons to punch, just to tattoo a scorn on the air, while the least qualified buck and bray, beating their chest, bellowing braggadocious boasts between bouts of begging, bartering really, beta boys cosplaying big strong boys, believing even the dregs of their belligerent lies. Empire will step on 10,000, get a slight smile from one, steal from 100,000 to cover up the fun money for another, ignore the clamor of 500,000, give a microphone to one, run the streets crimson with the lives of 1 million to lay a carpet for another, shoving everyone out of the way, setting everything on fire just for a flattering backdrop. While people defend their absentee fathers and lesser gods, the flames spread higher, hotter, faster, until it seemed everything was always fire. And the blaze was only desire, but the combustion has to somehow lose energy. Somehow empire always has a match. And this is a result of me making the mistake of reading the comments on the internet.
Oh no.
Like I'm 5. You hate more things than you claim to like. And if asked, I don't know what you like. Hard pressed to think of a time when even the smallest crumb of joy spilled out from your fingers into the world, opening your arms to welcome other people in. Instead, through blood-red glasses, boiling brain vermilion, twisted, dropping crimson lips, you push and stab and slice, finding enemies in every ounce of existence. The agenda is pain, delivering to everyone for having the audacity to live in a way that doesn't affect you in the slightest. Wait, I lied. You do like a lot of things, but it all seems to revolve around looking down your nose at, mocking the concerns of others that, revealing in the pain of, you have to enjoy that. Why would you spend so much time making sure everyone sees the painting in the attic, bending yourself, squeezing out every ounce of bile, sighing in relief that finally, the true you, the now you, can punch as far down as you can reach. Your song of freedom sounds like oppression, but I guess joy sounds different under dissonant flags. All right, a couple sad boys. Oh no! All right, so yeah, brothers, that's sad. So there have been like a lot of like death in my life, a lot of funerals. From like one of my earliest memories is going to like my great grandmother's funeral. And at a certain point, like when I hit like high school, it's sort of like a constant sort of like, I've been to a lot of funerals. And it was like a weird thing where you kind of become like good at grief, kind of become like sort of good at sort of funerals. And at a certain point in my head, like, my head sort of switched or whatever. It's like, oh, it isn't necessarily that they're dead, even though there are. It's just that they're living in a different town, and I don't see them that often. So they're still there, but I'm just not seeing them. So I wrote this for, whatever. It's called Move to Chicago. Like an eligible breeze, the sadness swirls in gentle, incomplete circles. The slight lift to a modest fall, changing the landscape, but the velocity never really gathers. The wind doesn't pick up, no nuts to form the storm. This buffet has been set many times, where once there were gourds, now it's a modest plate. Not a question of appetite, which is for so many servings, not everything needs another helping. So if sadness lacks the weight of despair, the grief lacks the weight, the despondency, it's melancholy that does the heavy lifting, the source diffused by reprise, a song sung too often and too early in the act. The darkness can't hold a foothold, memories shine too brightly, the house built resistance to the wrecking ball. The celebration exists because of, and not in spite of, because when faced with an option, it's 60-40 or 70-30, sad, a minor ingredient. Absent from the eyes, but not the mind, not a phone call away, but a neuron away, gone, but not gone, just moved to Chicago. Right, so another sad funeral one. Last duty. At my uncle's funeral, the piano player couldn't sing. The singer couldn't make it, his sister, so he filled in. But the talent in his fingers didn't extend to his throat. Like a gearbox stuck in a choke and a grind, pedal pushed to the floor, going from first to fifth with no transitions. Any grief derailed by the shock of the sound, grief put aside for confusion, concern with a touch of gallows humor. Ironic that a person who loved music so much was denied music. Even John Cage might be hard-pressed to defend. And the more he tried, the worse it got, urging us to join in on a song we didn't know. As his voice cracked like a peanut brittle dropped on the marble floor, my heart broke as he desperately called out, "I'm trying my best." Why he didn't stop, I'll never know. At my uncle's funeral, the preacher butchered the names, a stranger who knew nothing of the man who was in so many ways unknowable. In a sparsely attended service, I was more distracted than sad. The suspension of disbelief stretched like the rubber bands he snapped at my cousin and I growing up. If this was a scene, I'd ask for another take, but an imperfect memory is still a memory. While it wasn't what you wanted, there was a beauty in the brokenness. The piano player couldn't sing, but neither could my uncle, so he sang for both of them. And that was a true story, where it's like oh my God, you can just stop singing. You're a very good piano player. You should just do that. He did not. All right, this is my last poem. We'll get on some emo business. Yes! This one, the prompt I get from the big homie Zach Hanna. Yeah. So we follow him on social media, like he would put the info on "I love you" and fill in, so I just wrote a whole poem around that. Because I'm it. I built this algorithm brick by brick. Y'all stressing out to buy it. I'm not quite hippie love, I'm just like, guys, there's a better way. So I'll keep on changing the name of this poem. I wish I could just do it right. So this time it's going to be called Let's Try Again.
Why not?
It's also featured in my chapbook, which is available right by the door. Available for a nice, reasonable $10.
$10? That's so reasonable.
It's going to keep Poppy in Arizona tea, and I appreciate you for that. Okay. I love you like I never had to think about it. I love you like darkness was just suggestion. I love you like language never conspired against us. I love you as if every sunset taught me new things. I love you as if I'd never been afraid. I love you as if silence was a new novel. I love you the way the desert misses the rain. I love you as if air was only a theory and love was the only thing sustaining me. I love you the way starlight loves travel. I love you the way fire loves the cold, the way the winter loves gravity, the way water loves gravity, the way freckles love summer, the way a diamond loves the light, the way blood loves motion, the way lips love pressure, the way arms like reaching, the way hearts love yearning, the way children love the sight of lightning bugs, the way the wind loves endless walking, the way my smile loves the sight of you. I love you as if my heart only beat in Morse code, and if it only hit send on the message I was too shy to say. I love you as if this life was only a side quest, and you were there to solve the puzzles. I love you as if I'd never been hurt. I love you as if I knew the answers. I love you as if I had no questions. I love you as if the shortest distance, if that was the shortest distance between two planes. I love you as if there was no distance. I love you as if there was a heartache was a lie. I love you as if there were no lies. I love you as if every melody resolved. I love you when I don't understand, when space feels too tight, when the sunrise is too bright, when I can't focus on the now, when then is all that we got, when X marks the spot, when I'm a ghost without a home, when I find myself choking in the possibilities, when I can't see the horizon. I love you while I'm figuring it out. I love you while tornadoes find places to land. I love you while the future seems uncertain. I love you while imagination is the only real thing. I love you while I don't believe. I love you while I struggle. I love you while belief fights with existence. I love you while I fall out of signal reach. I love you while the orbit is eccentric. I love you as if I had no option, like a mosquito loves the first day of summer, like the afternoon loves the click of the sprinkler, like a smile before the lights go out, like the keys and hammers of a piano, like the vibrations of the hitting the ear, like every moment was a prophecy and every song was made for us, like every walk was a dance and every dance a duet. I love you as if you were my everything and I was your nothing.